Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to the excellence of radio execution, the gift to alternative media. You're listening to the Bruce Montalvo Show.
That's right, yes, it is the most amazing Bruce Montalvo Show with your co-host, Jaja.
And she's the co-host with the mo-host, and we are live. It is May 20th, 2016, and we got CNN on right now, and it's nothing but lies, telling the people sweet little lies.
Lies.
Tell me sweet little lies. You missed the little jingle.
Go ahead.
Like, tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. What am I, auditioning for American Idol here? Anyway, folks, it's May 20th, 2016. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for listening to us if you're listening to us via TalkStream Live. That's right, TalkStream Live, the best in streaming talk radio. TalkStream Live, we're live Fridays, 9 p.m. Eastern, and you can listen to us on iTunes now. Be sure to go to iTunes, type in the Bruce Montalvo Show. Go to Spreaker and type in the Bruce Montalvo Show. Go to Google, type in the Bruce Montalvo Show. It's everywhere, folks. I'm going to start ordering advertisement with planes all over the 50 states. It's just the Bruce Montalvo Show on the sky for you. Just for you.
When you're driving on the road, you can look up and see my face and Bruce's face,
I don't know if they can, draw our faces in the sky. I was hoping maybe just advertise the show or just say buy all our jewelry here on the Bruce Montalvo Show. That's right, we're going to turn into QVC, that's right.
I was thinking more like billboards, when you're driving, you see billboards.
Ah, those, yes.
Yeah, like they said, they show everybody else's damn face, they'll see our face.
Yeah, or on the bus stops, they could put us on there too. We got to start advertising. We're looking into that, folks. We're going to be on AM radio. The show's going to expand. It's only, the sky's the limit. The sky's the limit. And speaking of skies, oh man, what's going on with this PSYOP with the EgyptAir Paris-Cairo flight 804? I mean, I was breaking it down last night. We were watching CNN, and nothing but occult symbolism all over the place. I mean, you see the airline itself has the ancient Egyptian hawk Horus. That's the airline's logo. You got the pyramids all over. You have John Kerry coming out and saying
Skull and Bones.
That's right, Skull and Bones Kerry saying that he's got his eye on this crisis. I mean, is this a PSYOP?
Yeah, it has to be a PSYOP, only because, first of all, we were due for another terror activity. Now, people are glued again. They were losing interest to the TV, and now they're glued to the news. And, we have the best propaganda news in the world.
That's right. Hillary pays for all this propaganda. She owns the media. Anyway, I'm looking at the news right now, the hoax news, CNN, and they're saying that they found bodies now. They found a suitcase. They found 2 seats. They found a little bit of wreckage. I mean, it's nothing but misinformation. I mean, last night they said they found wreckage, and now then they redacted that and they said, oh, no, we didn't find it. And then this morning you wake up and, oh, yeah, we found a couple of body parts, too. A couple of heads floating around.
Yeah,
around about 180 miles away from Cairo, around what would be Alexandria, they said.
In the water? Oh, you mean parallel to Alexandria?
Right.
Okay. Well,
about 180 miles away from Alexandria.
It's funny they want to mention Alexandria, considering there's a newfound interest in Alexandria to be they're calling it the new Atlantis or something like that. They're comparing it to Atlantis and how stuff was buried and lost, and so they like that, buried and lost. You have to be careful because now that I saw some articles recently that there's a new resurgence in the interest of Alexandria, and that's because back in the day they burned all the libraries in Alexandria, and
that's right,
supposedly burned them. But in fact, I don't believe that. I think that's a Masonic cover story for the fact that the information was hijacked.
Well, that's what this news about this Paris-Cairo flight is. It's basically a Masonic cover story, so they could just yell terror, 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 terror all over the freaking airwaves.
Yeah,
and it's going to get more eerie here, folks. if you look at how many people were on board, it was about 66 people, including...
It was exactly.
It was exactly 66 people aboard on that flight. And if you look at the pilot's flight experience, he had 6,000 hours of flight experience. So if you put all those sixes together, you get a 666. 666.
Yes, you do, which is,
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I'm exposing the occult symbolism, the Illuminati symbolism, the predictive programming, the revelation of the method. It's all there. Just open your eyes. You see they're just flaunting it right in your face, and they're hiring these crisis actors. I mean, last night I saw this crisis actor with movie star glasses and a Hollywood star shirt. And then today you're seeing these guys
with the glasses.
They're not even crying. They all think they're Bruce Montalvo, and they're putting on their shades at night. And, they're wearing their sunglasses at night, like me. I don't wear my sunglasses at night. That's corny. I don't like... I was saying it because of the song. But no, really. It's just complete hoaxery.
Right. Yeah.
And it doesn't get any more psyop and hoaxy than this EgyptAir plane that just vanished out of nowhere. And again, this kind of reminds me of flight MH370.
It
just disappeared. I wonder who the Rockefellers and Rothschilds wanted killed on that plane. Or did anybody die?
Well, that's the thing. I believe that people can be targeted, but I don't think that it's one person that... If anybody died, I don't think that they killed all 66 people in order to kill one or two people. I just don't think that that's the case, but considering that we're in a weird world, I mean, people... They can target like anybody, at any time. Why would they have to take down everybody and ruin an airline's good name?
Well, they could be attacking the airline. Again,
yes.
The airline's probably losing a lot of stock right now.
Yeah.
A lot of stock. And if you look at the MO of these terror attacks, you see that it follows Paris and Egypt. They've been mentioned by ISIS, which is just the JV team at the CIA. They've been mentioned all the time. They've been attacking Paris. They've been saying they want to attack Paris in Egypt. And there you go.
Okay, but the reason why they want to go after Paris in particular is because French are very Arab sympathetic.
And again, what was Paris named after? It was named after ISIS. It used to be called Per-ISIS.
Right.
Per-ISIS.
Per-ISIS, yeah.
That city is literally named ISIS. So
which is what they gave us the Statue of Liberty, which is the ISIS worship.
Speaking of Statue of Liberty, because you reminded me right now of hijabs, because it kind of looks like the Statue of Liberty is like wearing a hijab nowadays. They have hijabs that aren't even crying. I mean, they're pretending to cry.
Yeah. They're
pretending to cry. And I heard one of these crisis actors say that she was praying to God that the plane was hijacked. Yeah, I mean, it just sounds totally fake. I mean, they're just continuing the MO that, these
actors.
These crisis actors now turned Arabic goat eyeball eaters are saying, yeah, I wish that Allah would have hijacked that plane instead of ISIS.
Listen, those ladies, I've seen people cry. I've been to funerals. And I didn't see one person crying at their funeral. They didn't look like they were holding any emotions at all, in fact. It looked like they were almost unsympathetic. And
they hired one or two that were really bawling, but I mean, who knows? Maybe they cut an onion in front of her before the cameras hit her.
Maybe she's a good actress. Wait, look at me.
That's enough of that. That's enough of that. That's enough of that. I'm going to start crying on the show for real. For real, folks.
I mean, you can get a little bit good, Listen.
But I really want to get into this. I want to get into this. The U.S. Navy's looking for debris. But you know what? The U.S. Navy was probably there at the scene of the crime. I've seen ships on the U.S. Navy that have these giant EMP rail guns. So if this plane was traveling at, 36,000 miles in the sky, it was about to reach its destination. That's probably the safest part of the trip.
Yeah.
And it just gets shot down or just vanishes. What, did the Rothschilds cloak this plane again? No. What I'm thinking is They could have cloaked it, but what I'm trying to get at is that they could have shot it down with an electromagnetic pulse Navy railgun. I mean, look at it. You see it on CNN right now. U.S. Navy assisting in search for debris.
Yes, but also you're...
I mean, they have those type of weapons on board.
Yeah, but U.S. Navy is also involved with PSYOPs. So they could be just assisting the PSYOP.
Right.
Know?
They're saying they found body parts and heads in the water. I mean, it could have just been just mannequin heads.
They could have thrown...
I want to see the pictures.
But they
I want to see the heads and the limbs and the suitcases.
At least the suitcases.
They're not showing me anything. They're not showing me anything. All they're showing me is hijabs that are bad crisis actors.
Very bad crisis actors. I mean, even if you look at Matt Damon from The Incredible Mr. Ripley, he cried on cue every single time. It was like 3 or 4 times.
How many times are you going to mention the talented Mr. Ripley?
No. I'm just saying in terms of crying on key. These people...
All right, we know Matt Damon is a pussy. We know that.
But these women can't even cry on point. I didn't see any tears. And so they're not even good actors. So they're not real people. They're not expressing real emotions. And they're not really good actors is what I'm saying.
Oh, this is a total false flag alert. I mean, just the hoax is exposed, folks. I mean, planes just don't fall out of the sky, okay, or vanish. What, was it flying over the Bermuda Triangle? What, they got a Bermuda Triangle over there by Israel? Oh, wait, it fell not too far from Israel, right? And then I heard that Netanyahu is over there calling the president Sisi or whatever of Egypt, telling him, I express my condolences to you. Wait, I kind of sound like
just like him.
I don't know if I sound like him or Henry Kissinger.
No, Henry Kissinger's much.
He sounds more like Dracula, Henry Kissinger.
Much slower.
Oh, the guy's 9,000 years old. I mean, you'd sound slow too.
No, but
you
did
9,000 years old.
Like BB-8.
BB-8. Oh my God, BB-8.
But I think it's just a show of and showing the world. The reason why BB did that is because he was like showing the world that Egypt and Israel have a positive relationship, and that's all. That's all. It has nothing to do with Israel. So any of you fucking truthers that think that you're gonna manifest some kind of a conspiracy that Israel did it.
You should see some of these troll truthers that attack us on our YouTube. You Jew, we hate you Jews. Look, I bet you friggin' $1 million that if you were in my face, you wouldn't say that to me because I'd blast a freaking hole through your face. You fucking pussies. Yeah, they're pussies. They just got keyboards. I mean, I walk around and I'm freaking an alpha male, a true alpha male, 24 hours a day, am I not?
Oh, yes, you are.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, this is definitely a false flag, my friends. It's no way a real event. The fact is that when they can't find anything, they keep telling you, we can't find anything. It disappeared. Planes don't just disappear. There's like real radar, and unless they're using cloaking devices or interfering signals, I mean, that's super sophisticated. For some reason, I'm thinking this is an attack on the airline itself, or maybe, just some kind of a deploy, of people's financial investments somehow. Maybe there's a new up-and-coming plane company over there in Egypt, and they want to come in and take that.
Right, they could be attacking the airline, their stocks probably just plummeted right now. But here's what they're saying. They're saying that the plane stopped twice in Eritrea, or I don't even know how to pronounce that country, and it stopped in Tunisia, which is where the Arab Spring kicked off. So, I mean, two stops? It just sounds a little weird. I mean, usually planes make one stop.
Yeah, if at all. Yeah.
If at all. So I'm thinking if it stopped in Tunisia, then they could have put some CIA-hired eyeball eater to go on there, dressed as a flight attendant in high heels, and put whatever under the plane. The spooks are saying they put a soda can bomb in there now. So what are they going to do now? They're going to ban all soda cans?
Of course.
From the airline? So now I can't have my delicious ginger ale on a flight because I might use the can to blow the plane up.
Well, they won't let you bring anything in.
Right, they don't even give you the can. That's right. Don't they just pour it in a cup for you?
Yeah.
No, but if you go in the back, if you're going to take a piss, you could sneak a can somewhere maybe.
No, you can't. You have to be able.
Oh, but that's what they want you to think.
Yeah. They want you to be super ultra paranoid of even a can of soda.
Exactly.
That way they have, and not just, I don't even think it has to do with the air. It has to do with the ground also. So even, you have to remember Egypt had that Egypt Spring several years ago where it was complete chaos, where friends were fighting friends. I mean, literally, I knew a bunch of artists in Egypt that they were all fighting each other and they were all friends because of that whole insanity with Sisi and the religious fighting over politicians and stupid. I mean, look, Sisi was the head of the military, and now he is president. I mean, it's sort of sick. They took out Mubarak and Morsi, and like Mubarak went out, then Morsi came in, and he was a loser. And people were really killing each other over fucking politicians. It's not like people were killing over even religion or Allah. It had nothing to do with Allah at that point. It had to do with politicians. So that really, really turned me off to the Egyptian
Speaking
mentality.
of politicians, Trump tweeted that, we got another radical Islam attack. But he tweeted a little bit after the attack happened. But I'm thinking, did he have some type of foreknowledge, maybe, that this was going to happen?
Of course he did. I mean,
the Trumpster?
They love this stuff. Anybody in the news just loves to break this kind of news. It gives them a talking point. I mean, it's, for us, it's almost like boring because, we keep having to say it's a crisis. It's a crisis act. It's not real. It's not real.
You know how many times I've said it's a hoax, folks, on the show?
I mean, when you look, we're humans. We have emotions, and we express emotions. And if a situation is called for people to cry, and the people are acting devoid of emotion, something resonates inside of me that I don't really believe their emotions. You know
what? This is such a hoax, folks, that I'm watching the Egyptian police on TV. And they're smiling on TV, they're laughing, and the cameras are on them. It's just beyond me.
Well, they love it. You see, they've never been on American TV before, and for them, it's like an honor. And
they're laughing because they know that planes just don't fall out of the sky.
Not just that they're laughing; they're too stupid. Okay, that's what happens. You know, there's an 80% literacy rate in Egypt. They do not teach their people how to read. I'm not saying that a whole.
You know what? I think you're right because Egyptians are probably stupid because I've been in New York and they put kimchi on tacos.
Oh, those are nice guys, though. Those are smart people. Those are very smart Egyptians that you know. I mean,
anybody that puts kimchi on a taco, you're pretty stupid.
Okay, but honey, the Egyptians that are in New York are the ones with the brains. The ones that are but the ones that are over there are really illiterate.
But I mean, come on, I'm like El Gran Chicano over here. I don't want a kimchi on my fucking taco.
No.
You Egyptian idiots.
Yeah, but that looks like it's a new trendy thing. I see it everywhere. It's disgusting. But yeah, the illiteracy rate is so high in Egypt that these people they're not, you could see they're not too bright, so they don't know how to act, and they don't know how to read, so they don't know how to act.
I know who's stupider than the Egyptians. The French. Because they're just pulling the wool all over these stupid freaking Frenchies. I mean, they're pulling the wool over their eyes. These idiots, how many psyops have they pulled on these stupid-ass Frenchies, and they still walk around, the Charlie Hebdo, it really happened, omelette du fromage,
Yeah, well,
I have stinky dingleberries.
And they're also very big Palestinian supporters. So.
And like I said, they're stupider than the Egyptians.
Yeah, well, it's true. I
mean, in my book,
for
folks.
years, I mean, the French have been extreme Arab supporters. I mean, you go to their French metros and there's Arabic written. I mean, really, literally, Arabic on the fucking trains. It's printed on the trains. Not just French, but Arabic.
Well, you better get used to it, because when Hillary Clinton becomes president, this country is basically going to be Syria Part 2. Okay, they're going to get rid of English. That's pretty much what I see, the one world order.
There'll be more Mexicans.
That's what I see the one world order going towards. A complete and total Islamification of the world. Everybody's going to be having gold eyeballs in their little cup.
There'll be more Mexicans here than
Martini glass.
I think that the Arabs will probably go more to Europe, which is why most of them. But Brooklyn is really getting filled. The other day, I saw on my block. I just was out for like 20 minutes, and I saw 3 Cobra Commando hijab, full fucking burqas, just the eyes exposed. Like
I don't like the way they look at
black, and they're black, and they're wearing all black, and their little slits in their eyes.
They just have like
disgusting
eyes of evil. Okay, you read that Quran. It just, how many times does it say go kill other people that don't believe in Arabic Catholicism in the Quran? I mean, these people are sick.
Yeah, I disagree with a lot of things that, I'm into like everybody has their own
Well,
thing.
first of all,
religion.
Judaism doesn't teach to go and kill someone who doesn't support or believe in Judaism.
And it tells you not to proselytize and,
that's right.
and tell other people to convert to your religion. That's like against Judaism to try to convince
and
somebody to be a Jew.
The first depictions of El Cucuy, El Diablo, came out of Saudi Arabia. The first caricatures of the devil came out of Saudi Arabia. That tells you these people belong to the devil. They go eyeball eating freaking just fiery freaking demons. Some of them. Yeah. I mean, they got hate in their eyes.
Yeah, they do. They have a lot of hate. They do. And I couldn't believe the amount of hate.
The Catholics instilled that into them.
Maybe, but I couldn't believe the amount of hate that I saw within friends on Facebook, because I had like 30 Egyptian friends that were in hip-hop.
You should see the way they talk about the Jews and the Jewish people and the religion.
Well, that I know, but when they were dealing with each other,
abhorrent.
That's easy. That's an easy call, because it's like their antithesis. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to point a finger at Israel, but when you look at how their relationships are with each other, it's violent, and they hate each other. Well,
like you just mentioned in Egypt. I mean, they were killing each other.
It was. I
mean, they're supposed to be trying to overthrow the government, but then the military got them to kill themselves.
Yes.
A bunch of dumbasses.
And they let the military kill groups, because some groups killed the other people, and the other people were cheering. It was crazy. I mean, it just brought them down to a level of barbarian.
And that's why they're targeting the Egyptians, because they're barbarians. They're targeting them. They're trying to get them scared. Mm-hmm. Why do you think they attack airlines, folks, and things that have nothing to do with politics? Because they want to frighten you into taking your civil liberties away. They want to tell you what to think, so eventually they tell you what to say, so eventually you become their mindless, mind-controlled slave.
You're absolutely right, Bruce. This is definitely a targeted attack, I think, to the country of Egypt. Now that we take a step back and look at the pretty picture, they're probably due for a hardcore Patriot Act over there, considering their neighbors in Israel Israel has the first TSA, pretty much. They know, I remember going there years ago, and I was told that they know you're on the road before you're on the road to go to the airport.
Oh,
they
wow.
know who you are. Like, they know you're coming. So it's like when you get to the gate, they still know who you are. They'll pretend they don't, but everybody knows who you are, because that's how tight their security is. And I mean, they also will question you to death, but they just make a point of it. Now, I don't think Egypt has that regime over there. They don't have that regiment, and that's why they're going to institute it, and they're probably using this for their 9/11 or something like that, because it has to do with planes. They're terrorizing the people, and you have to remember, it's a military government. You have Sisi in power.
That's right.
So it would just make sense.
Martial law instituted there at any second.
And they've had it, and they probably still, and you know what, Bruce? It's probably really there right now. It probably hasn't left since the riots.
Right.
They probably never lifted
right,
it,
because they ousted Mubarak.
Because Sisi was never elected. Right. Sisi is put there. He was never elected. So they are under martial law. So
right.
Well, now that's what they're doing, is that they're defining laws, pat down laws. Maybe they'll be able to stop them in the street now. Who knows how far Egypt will take it.
It's going to get more fascist from here, folks. Just like Willie O'Keefe and JFK said, fascism's coming back.
And they're not Americans, because we kind of step up to the plate. You have people that are around, and we argue. We say, why do we have to get this? Why do we have to get pat down? Why do we have to? And we fight. We get away. We get rid of the radiation machines. They switch it up because they figure out it's. So we actually are more vocal, and we're more intelligent people. But who knows? They're going to start with the chaos. They can start.
Right, they can't even read anymore. They were one of the ancient civilizations that probably invented language, and they had the Elohim and the Watchers.
The sculptures and the art.
Have them build all these great pyramids. But you know what I'm wondering is if Hollande is going to go on TV again and blame the Illuminati again, or as he called it, the Illuminati.
Yeah, no, the French are very sympathetic to the Arabs, and I just don't understand it. I mean, you know, I have nothing against Arabs, you know. I mean, I have friends that are Arabian, you know, Arabic. I'm sorry, not Arabian, Saudi Arabia, but I have many different friends from all over the Middle East. So, but I just don't understand why you can hate the Jews and love the other
but that's what the truthers are going to do. Now that Netanyahu called Sisi, they're going to be like, oh, and the plane traveled 24 hours before crashing right there, basically in the Gulf of Israel. I mean, what are the truthers? They're going to have a field day with this. But I can't wait till they have their little shows. Oh, Israel did it. Israel did it. Israel did it.
They had no reason to do it.
100% proof. Israel did it.
And they couldn't do it because it was in Tunisia, and Israel's not over there, so it's Africa.
No, they think Israel's everywhere.
But you know, Tunisia is actually, no, why? It's not, can't be Israel. It just can't, anyway, it can't be because in Tunisia they were starting with their riots also. You know, it's like a choreographed crisis around the world.
Yeah, so, they think this is another USS Liberty or something like that, probably. Stupid, idiot truthers. You hear what I'm saying right now, you stupid, idiot truthers? I challenge any one of you to come up to me in the middle of the street and say to me what you say in my YouTube threads. You know you wouldn't do it because you're a bunch of fucking pussies that live in your mother's basement while I fly coast to coast and drive fancy cars and freaking sleep with my beautiful woman. That's right. And I wear fancy robes and all that stuff.
They say right now...
They're just jealous of me.
Yes, they are jealous. They say investigators scrutinize who had access to plane. So that's what we're talking about right now is maybe the Tunisian...
And who do they have up there? A former CIA spook up there.
Wasn't he on Alex Jones' show? Wasn't he friends with him?
Every CIA spook is friends with Bill. I'm telling you.
And George.
Bill, the Office of Naval Intelligence over there. I'm telling you, but...
Hey, what about George Norrie? What was wrong with that puppet?
That's funny. Moving on to more lighter notes, I was watching Mike Tyson, and he's been in the news a lot because something eerie has been going on. They found out that there was this time traveler. There's a guy with a phone, a cell phone, like a modern cell phone, and he was at a Mike Tyson fight, apparently. In the crowd, he was like videotaping the fight. And you can see it in the picture. He had like a newfangled phone, and he's in there, you know, at the fight. Like it was like I don't know what fight it was off the top of my head, but apparently a time traveler was at a Mike Tyson fight. But anyway, Mike Tyson's all over the place, and he's doing this little joke, little comedy stint where he had this puppet with like a cornflower blue shirt, and I swear. That puppet looks just like George Snorri.
Oh, totally. The mustache got him to the T. Those droopy eyes to the T. That curly hair to the T. And the same shaped face. It was in the same color jacket and shirt.
The cornflower blue shirt.
Yeah, the jacket and the shirt.
It was hilarious.
Blue and
he kind of sounded a little Mexican when he was interviewing Mike.
Well, they can't do George like you. Why don't you do George for everybody?
Hello, Mike Tyson. How are you? I'm great, George. Thank you for having me on.
And somebody died today.
That's right. You know, that guy is so morbid. It's so morbid. I mean, it's bad enough he's on late at night when the freaking ghouls and goblins come out. But, I mean, every time you hear this guy, you put on the radio, he's talking about people dying.
And he seems happy
about it. It's like a freaking obituary.
He seems happy about it. Like, it's so weird. Like, he's weird.
You know, that guy looks like death. Like, pale, pasty, white death. I met that guy at a L.A. freaking, hotel convention for UFOs and stuff. He was there, and I interviewed him.
Conscious Life.
That's right. I interviewed him there. I'm getting old, folks. I'm sorry. I forget where I've been.
It's late.
Anyway... I'm telling you, I met that guy. He looks like death itself. He really does. But moving on, let's Let's move on to the reality TV, GOP, donkey, and elephant debates. Apparently, Americans really hate Hillary Clinton. They really hate her. And I'm looking at the polls here, and they actually hate her more than they hate Trump. Now, this is getting a little dangerous.
Well, it's sort of like the... first of all, people always hate women, okay? It's a good reason to hate women. Look what's happening in Brazil right now with Dilma. They took her out. She's on suspension.
Yeah, they're probably going to whack her freaking ass. They're probably going to pop her.
I think they pulled her out to save her because, for last I heard, is that they were all running to her house, half of Brazil. And if you ever been to Brazil, like I used to live there, you don't want to be around a soccer stadium.
You know what? That's funny you mentioned Brazil because I swear I have this premonition that they're going to create a huge false flag over in Brazil for the Olympics.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
oh, yeah.
They're cooking that up right now in their Illuminati roundtable freaking discussions. They really are. And I'm telling you, I mean, they want to host the Olympics there. And speaking of Dilma, she helped bring the Olympics there. The Nazi Olympics. I mean, you see those rings? They basically mean a one world order. I mean, all the rings are a different color. And they're all united. So it's like all the races being put under one order. And who came up with the Olympic Games? It was the Nazis.
The Nazis.
It was the Nazis.
I mean, it was really a Greek thing originally, but they kind of brought it back. That's the thing. The Nazis would have brought it back so they can talk.
But it's really starting to become a trend, this women in power.
Yes,
with this
women
Dilma
in power.
Rousseff and Hitler's daughter, Angela Merkel, over there in Germany. So, I mean, I'm thinking they're going to put this big, fat, blueberry-looking freaking bitch with bags under her eyes known as Hillary Clinton as our new freaking dictator-in-chief.
The new ruler. Yeah, she looks like she got a
Did you see her on CNN the other day?
Well,
not only does she look like she got some type of facelift, but she looked like a giant blueberry in that blue suit. Well, you know what? She looks like a Gila monster.
I think
one of those desert Gila monsters? She looks just like one of those Gila monsters.
Well, did she look like a blueberry or a Gila monster?
She looks like a Gila monster in a blueberry outfit.
You used to think she was beautiful when you were young.
I am going to fire you from this program.
You didn't know when you were really young. She was just a face on the screen. You were really young. You were like 7
First of
or
all,
something. You said,
as you know, blondes really, really, punch my ticket.
They punched it.
They did. They used to. Right, Blondie?
Yeah, right. Former Blondie, because now brown hair.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, you're talking about years ago, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so when you were younger,
I can't believe you're telling this fucking story on there.
Yeah, but you were just looking at her face. You didn't know any of her politics. You're not talking about... You just look. She's cousins with Madonna. She obviously was good looking. She was cute. She was good looking. She's okay looking.
You have a point there.
She's got a nice face. She's just very old right now. She's like almost 68, or I don't know how old she is. 65. She's, but.
And in that interview, I mean, not only does she look like she could use some of that Chamonix under her eyes.
That's what advertise them.
No, I'm not.
Paying us.
I'm not. Maybe they will. Maybe they will if I start talking like this. Oh, God. I just had a Greek salad.
I just had some more Chinese food. I'm dying. The soy, I don't know what it is, but it's killing me.
Yeah, seriously, that guy is just engorging himself. Like Michael Scavenge is just engorging himself with Chinese food. MSG.
Yeah,
I think he wants to kill himself.
Yeah, because
I think he's tired of life.
I think he said, I heard him say one time that he spent years without, going to the doctor. He was healthy. He just couldn't stand it. Now all of a sudden he's getting sick. Well, let me tell you something. Something is going on with the fucking Chinese food. And you can read about, first of all, soy. Number one, soy. And MSG in there will kill you. We had some tuna the other night with some soy on it. And I was literally keeling over in pain with my stomach. I mean,
my stomach was a little upset too.
Flipping. I mean, and when we see it in
real hypersensitivity to this New World Order accoutrement.
They're doing something. We saw something in a cartoon, and they said, "Stay away from soy." It was like a cartoon, but it was a message that soy was the killer. And I think that it will turn you. It could turn your stomach into freaking Crohn's disease. It could give you all kinds of autoimmune diseases, primary cholangitis. You can get that if you keep eating GMO. That's going to harshly attack your system. The MSG is giving Michael diabetes, and now he's complaining about, like diabetic reactions, and that's totally MSG.
Wow. You mentioned killers, and let's go back to Hillary Clinton for a second. We saw her on CNN, and she's talking about Trump is being used. That's one of the words that stuck out to me. Trump is being used. And that's exactly what he is. He's a tool of the Democrats. He's supposed to give a big speech today at the NRA. If you go back to the year 2000, Trump was for the ban on assault weapons. And when I was over in the Brooklyn Museum, I actually ran into a live, in the flesh, Sandy Hook crisis actor. And you could see it. They have this glazed look in their eyes. And I know, I'm not against guns, but assault weapons. And I'm like, assault weapons? What are you going to do? You're just going to lay down and let 8 gangbangers rape you, 1 in the ear, 2 in the butt, and all over the place? Are you just going to lay down and pee yourself as a defense? You know what I would do? I would whip out the AK-47, and it wouldn't be a good day for those bastards invading my home. That's what I say on assault weapons. That's just a manufactured term. Assault weapons. Any weapon could be an assault. I could grab a fork and assault you with that. Okay.
My fist can be an assault weapon.
You know what? Fists are assault weapons. I mean, boxers, they can't fight you. They can't fight you because their fists are registered weapons.
Yes, exactly.
They're lethal.
They're lethal weapons.
That's right, because they know how to use them. So what are they going to do? They're going to ban boxers' hands?
Well, what about
They're going to start cutting off boxers' hands now, too?
So what you have to do is not become an actual professional, but train like a professional.
That's what I did.
Me too.
That's what we did, right.
That way they don't have it on paper that you're a professional.
Exactly. And I'm telling you that they're orchestrating this whole Trump versus Hillary like it's a big HBO championship fight. They really are. And I was listening to Hillary's words very closely. I was listening to what others don't hear. And she said, not only is Trump being used, but that freaking communist bastard, Bernie Sanders, is being used also. He's being used. Yes. I reported this on my Before It's News Exposed News account. I reported this at least 3 weeks ago, that it doesn't matter if Bernie wins. He's going to lose on purpose in the end.
Yes. I mean, the only reason for Bernie, I'm going to say it again, is because he's appealing to the Occupy Wall Streeters.
He's appealing to all the burnouts that were told when they were young that they were great, but they were just a bunch of freeloading scum that never got a job in their lives, ever. They're still in college. They don't work. They've never made $1 in their lives. And he's appealing to these idiots that want free. Just freebies everywhere.
Or people that have extreme student
And he's promising all these things that he could never deliver.
Yeah.
Ever.
No, I know.
I mean, he can't even go to Brooklyn to the smoke joint and order a chicken with his own money. He's got to use other people's money.
Yeah.
He's just robbing people. As soon as he goes into the chicken joint, he's got his hands in somebody else's pockets to pay for the freaking chicken.
I know. No, he's ridiculous. And it's just he's there as as kind of a symbol to these Wall Streeters in order to get people to love government. Like, he's an ideal for a certain segment of the population. And he's just an idealized candidate. And it's totally unrealistic because he would never be president, ever in his lifetime. I mean, there's no way you'll ever see a guy like Bernie Sanders who's a mess like that, who's got no foreign policy at all. And the world is very small these days, and you have to have your hand into
this guy looks
policy.
Like he's never left Brooklyn in his life.
Yeah, probably.
He never left his little studio Brooklyn apartment.
I don't want to say that he's from Brooklyn. I know, because then they're trying to say that he sounds like a Jew and he's Jewish, and it just bothers me because I know that he's not. He looks like Ford to me. He looks like the Ford family.
He's probably related, definitely related to Nazis. I've seen him heil a couple of times.
Yeah,
but here's the thing.
And he always says that he was a Reformed Jew and he never knows anything about Jewish.
That's right. He doesn't know the first thing.
The first thing about anything.
He doesn't even know how to read a mini pocket freaking Torah. Okay, folks. Now, here's the thing. They're all screaming immigration nowadays. Oh, immigration this, immigration that. The immigration problems are really just Jesuit problems. Because the Jesuits have problems filling their pews. So they need to bring in all sorts of stupid people like on the level of the Egyptians, just dim-witted people. And it's not just the Egyptians. I mean, all over Mexico, they're bringing these people in, probably offering them free flights to the border. And that's the thing. The pews are empty, and nobody is voting Democrat. Nobody's voting Democrat anymore. That is why you have Trump being used as a spokesperson, a spokesmouth for the Republicans, supposedly. This guy is just a tool, folks. He is a tool, and if America is so bad, okay, he's not that wrong, Trump, on purpose, because they're giving him these talking points. He's taking these talking points from Michael Savage. To me, it sounds like he's Michael Savage Jr. or Michael Savage is writing his freaking lines. But I agree with him to a certain extent. I mean, if America is so bad, why are these hijabs and these freaking burrito makers coming over here and then burning the American flag while, in another hand, just buying up all sorts of food with EBT because this country is so gracious to these people?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess that who knows what's going to happen in the world. I mean, look at Dubai. These people just shift people around like we've really, like FEMA, you know what I'm saying? FEMA management, emergency management is to move people around in large groups. So I feel like they do this like world feng shui and shift people around. Because if you look at Dubai, it's like this international city that's completely modern, super contemporary, crazy billion, trillion-dollar buildings. And who knows? I mean, they're redoing Iraq right now. Who knows what the fuck's going to happen over there? Maybe it's going to be the biggest American resort over there, and that's going to be beachfront
Absolutely.
property.
Did you see how much money they spent over in Afghanistan? I mean, they made an embassy over there. I mean, millions and millions and millions of dollars went into that thing.
I mean, look at California. It's disgusting. The air quality is gross. If you were rich, and the air was clean over there in Iraq, and the water was clean for the most part, wouldn't you want to build a palace over there?
It's completely disgusting. I mean, it's so disgusting you could cut the air with a knife over there. And the air is not the only thing that's disgusting about LA. Okay, they have fake plastic people. The only good thing about LA is King Taco.
Oh my God, King Taco is amazing.
That's right. You know already. You tasted the magic. We said we're going to be in LA. We took a little short trip to LA, and we're back in NYC now, folks. But that's the thing about Los Angeles is that you have these actors on TV that in one hand they're wielding guns, and then they give a mic, and then they're trying to take your guns. It's just complete, total fake, hypocrite, plastic people.
Yeah. California is not a place to live. It's got the highest income tax in the entire United States. It doesn't seem to be a relief over there, except as soon as you leave.
Exactly.
I mean, you can't even swim without looking at a smog sky. So what the hell's the point?
Exactly. Now let's get into this news here. This is for all you idiots that listen to info whores. Okay. Hey, Bill, what are you going to do about this? What are you going to tell your audience about the Trumpster meeting with Henry Kissinger? He met with Henry Kissinger?
Shocking.
What is he going to have Henry Kissinger in his supposed cabinet? That's never going to happen? I mean, that just tells you. Alex Jones should burrow himself underground now. He is not allowed to be a freaking subterranean.
He can't be a conspiracy.
He is a joke.
Yeah.
A hoax. A neocon buffoon.
I feel very betrayed by Alex because he went ahead and collected a lot of smart people. He was rallying up his own fucking audience, and that's all that he was concerned about, was obtaining an audience and then trying to cater to that particular audience. And as soon as he got them, he turned his back on them and tried to, now he felt he had a big audience, now he could take it to the mainstream. And that's why he's losing his mind. That's why he's losing his hair. That's why he sounds like a rambling fucking idiot, because he's still crazy, and he turned his back on people that might have supported him, in the end. But no, he's behind a mainstream, lamestream fucking candidate. That nigga used to have all kinds of interesting people on his show, Kusen. You used to have all these like alternative
Look, I
possibilities.
just mentioned this guy's supposed to be for gun rights, right?
Yeah.
Alex Jorge Jones or whatever his name is. Fake name anyway.
Yeah,
but he's supposed to be for gun rights. 2000, in the year 2000. Did you know, Bill, that in the year 2000, your boy Donald Trump freaking wanted a ban on assault weapons?
Yep.
And then he said Hillary Clinton and the Clintons were great.
Yes, he did. But people have a very short memory, Bruce. They just remember what they heard 10 minutes before, maybe, if that much, if they registered.
I mean, the Clintons just don't own Trump. They own the entire media, like I mentioned earlier.
Yeah, so they own the whole chessboard. This is the queen, this is the king, this is the joker, this is the...
Wow. Wow. And now, it gets even more sinister here, folks, because this is something that El Rushbo and Scavenge and Jorge Jones are never going to tell you. They're not going to tell you that Clinton, Epstein, and Trump are all connected.
Yes, they are.
They're not going to tell you that, are they?
No.
They're not going to tell you Epstein has Trump's phone number. And it's in the record. Just Google it up.
But they're busting some of Trump's people, but they're not going to touch him.
That is huge. Yes, I'm glad you mentioned that because a Trump delegate was actually busted for explosives, guns, and hear this, folks. This is shocking. Child pornography.
Yeah, that's pretty horrifying, and you don't know.
I mean, did Hillary set that up on purpose to derail Trump? Yeah, right. If it was a real freaking voting process, I'd believe that. But they're working together.
Yes.
This is just some guy that they wanted to oust, the Illuminati wanted to oust and put out there to, have some type of supposed backlash against Trump.
Maybe they were sick of that guy. Who knows who he was? You know what I'm saying? Who knows what he did, and maybe it wasn't a game player to them, and that's it. That's why you don't go too far on the inside. If you go too far on the inside, you start owing. You know too many secrets about people, and you start owing people favors.
Exactly. Now, and that's all they do is just give people favors and
know
favors.
too many secrets. It's terrible.
I ask you for a favor, just like The Godfather.
Exactly.
Here's the thing: talking about movies and Broadway and all this, I wouldn't be surprised if Hillary Clinton starred in Wicked on Broadway. I'm like waiting to see her star in that.
I'll get you, my pretty, and your little dog too.
You know what? You should try out for Wicked too.
Well,
you might be Hillary's runner-up.
I'd have to practice a few times, but isn't she related to? Well, forget it.
With you, everybody's related to Nazis, aren't they? Hey, if you go back and listen to the show, folks, I mean, everybody's a Nazi. Everybody. No, but you know what? We may be making fun, but the truth really is stranger than fiction, folks. I mean, take a look at what we say and do the homework. Google it up yourselves. Do your own research, and you'll find out that although we sound like we're playing around, we're really not. I mean, we're really in the Nazi twilight zone.
Yeah, we are. And, this is just their birthright, and I believe the Nazis won the war, and they just...
Look, here's the thing. The Nazis make a great point for speaking English and learning English in America. Because, look, they were immigrants, too. They came over here, and they dominated the language, and now they run the fucking country.
Yeah, they dominated the language. They came here. A lot of them switched their names, Bob Hope, from Hans Franz to Bob Hope.
So your theories say, yes, yeah.
Yeah. His son is Bill O'Reilly, looks exactly like him. I mean, they all connected. They just changed their names because they don't want it to look like nepotism. But yeah, they did come to the country and work extra, extra hard. And I'm not putting them down because of that, But you could tell that they really run everything, because even you were watching Ren and Stimpy the other day, and they hide their swastikas everywhere.
Old Nickelodeon cartoons, right? Yes,
it was right there. You
again, more occult Illuminati symbolism, and that's pretty much what drained me back in the day growing up, to be able to spot like this Egyptian Flight 804 Illuminati symbolism. I mean, you see it right on the tail of the plane, a big, giant Egyptian hawk named Horus.
They love that one.
And then the 666 with the 66 passengers on board, and then the pilot who had 6,000 hours of flight experience.
Yeah, it's just a cue to the Masonic people that are on the inside to know that it's not real. We're not on the inside. We're just kind of on the outside that know about
we're
the
on the
inside.
outside looking in.
Yeah, and we know about the inside, so that's why we're just like trying to figure it out. But, This is all we're
But
doing. We
here's
don't
the
have
thing.
any papers.
People are so stupid, they buy this stuff. They see it on TV, they believe it. They see some blonde bimbo, info babe, telling them this stuff.
She's not a babe.
I'm just saying.
Info bitches.
Info bitches. And that's funny you say info bitches, because Fox News should probably come up with a freaking calendar for the redneck bigots. Fox News bitches. There I go giving Fox News ideas, folks. But I was going to say this. Trump should change his slogan. Listen to me, Trump. You should change your slogan to "Making America Stupid Again."
Making America hate again.
Making America stupid again. There was this woman. I saw this news article, and there was this black woman that worked at Home Depot, and she had a hat that said "America was never great." Believe that? America was never great.
America is great. We are the only country that really has free speech. I mean, look at England. They get...
What the hell is wrong with that idiot? I mean, if she doesn't like America, why does she get the hell out?
I mean, we're freer than any country in Europe, which is a Western society.
I mean, I could see why we're not great because, we were founded by Freemasons, or we're not great because we freaking export our fascism all over the world. I mean, in part... they're making it a reality, the Illuminati is. They're really trying to destroy America and not make America great. That's why that news article got out in the first place about this woman with the hat. I mean, they're trying to destroy American exceptionalism.
Yes, yeah, they are. I mean, they want to keep everybody's ego in check. They want to make sure that you know your place. They don't care. Obviously, they don't care if you think that America is so great. They've already made fun of us. I mean, Trump, like you said, they, make America great again. I think that it's more like make America hate again.
Right.
And even though they took make Germany great again from the Nazi slogans back from Hitler.
That's right.
Okay? So, but I think it's like, really with Trump, it's like make America hate again, because the first minute he came out, he was hating on everyone. He was dissing all women around
Mexicans,
him.
Arabs, women.
Anything you can ask
But
about.
he just took the right-wing playbook, the right-wing talk show host playbook. Hillary gave it to him.
Yes.
She said, here, talk like
and
this.
So did Michael Savage.
And here's the thing. I saw a Rolling Stone article, and it portrays Trump as the Grim Reaper, as death, and it says Trump will be the death of the Republican Party. Well, let me tell you something, Rolling Stone. The Republican Party's already been dead. Did you forget about George W. Bush? I mean, the Republican Party's record on liberty is pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. Just go back and do your homework, folks. It's pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. And the Democrats. I mean, the Democrats love to say that the Republicans are racist. They're racist. They hate women. Okay, that's in part their playbook. But the Democrats are America's premier racist party. I mean, let's go back to the days of LBJ, folks. You had LBJ. What did he say? He said, I'll have them NIGGAs voting D for a decade.
And when they said nigga, they meant nigga. When I say nigga, I don't mean nigga.
No, but here's the thing.
Here's the thing.
Mexicans, folks, Mexicans have become the new niggas. Mexicans have become the new Jews. Okay? And it really grinds my gears for these Operation Paperclip fucking Germans to come over here and tell my people who are indigenous to this continent, okay, that basically freaking ousted the Spanish, and half of the United States used to be Mexico once. All they did was change the flag one day, okay? And you've had Mexican Americans fight and die for this country, like Eugene Obregón, okay, and many others. Fight and die for their fat cats, for their Henry Kissingers, and they still have these Trumps come out here on purpose, because it's scripted, and bash my people. When we have the best food, we have some of the best culture.
Mm-hmm.
You just go to Chichen Itza, and if you want to discover the ancient esoteric roots of humanity, folks, of who might have created us, I mean, just go to Chichen Itza, and you see the ancient snake god Quetzalcoatl. You don't have to just go to Egypt. You go to Mexico, and you'll see the same symbolism in Mexico. You see the same symbolism now in China. You see it in Egypt. I mean,
it's just not as big, right? The pyramid is not as big,
and they're more circular over there, not triangular.
Yeah.
But still, how did man inherently have a code on how to build pyramids?
Yeah, it's just like I think it's the same as how ants can kind of build an ant farm, or bees can build a beehive. And speaking of bees, we saw in the pool 2 bees stuck together, dead.
But they were mating.
They were mating.
They died in love.
They died fucking.
Wow.
I wonder if they had an orgasm when they died.
Oh my God. Yeah, the male bee was probably trying to hurry up as he saw that they were plummeting to the freaking pool or the sea, and to them it probably looked like a giant sea.
Yeah.
Just like that Egyptian Flight 804. They just plummeted all the way down to the sea while fucking. Here's the thing. Think about this, folks. If you're on a plane and it's going down, I mean, what would you do? I mean, it's just an illusion of safety, an exit door procedure at 37,000 miles in the sky. Oh, we're going to do an exit door procedure in freaking midair. It's just really an illusion of safety. What would you do? Would you just whip it out and start, beating it right there? I mean, what if all the passengers just started whipping it out and they're going down, but then the plane stabilized and then they're like, oh, damn, we were... I mean, that's how those bees went out.
I think if, but I think if you're on a plane, you'd be screaming your head off, so, yeah.
Oh, man, I wish I had a freaking suicide pill there, like in the video games. You know what I'm saying?
You never know, so you just have to ride with it, I guess.
Wow.
Let's not talk about plane accidents or hypotheticals.
It's all over the news right now. What do you want me to talk about? Freaking planes being blown up by
it's not really
soda can bombs over here.
But it didn't. But nobody died. You see, but you didn't.
Yeah, right. They probably took them to some base, like a Diego Garcia base, and now they got them in some type of Hunger Games freaking thing going on in the jungle while fat elites like Henry Kissinger chase these people down. I mean, who knows what could happen to these people? Who knows if there were even passengers on the plane?
I don't think
after it stopped in Tunisia, they could have taken them off the plane and then said it disappeared, but then taken the plane to some type of freaking ISIS freaking bunker where they're going to use it for some type of false flag in the future.
Do you think they can?
All these planes disappearing. I mean, this thing reminds me exactly of MH370.
You know they can auto fly a plane.
Of course.
So this is totally inexcusable, and in this society, there is no way that you can't.
Right. Go on. We're on air.
In this society, most people are. Wait a second. Somebody's at the door. 1 second.
We're live on air right now, folks. We have somebody knocking on our door right now. Just about time to check out. Here, I want to thank you guys for listening to the Bruce Montalvo Show. If you go and be sure to support us, we're good friends at espymall.com. That's espymall.com. If you use coupon code BruceNY, you'll save 10% on the best CC surveillance equipment. Just go to espymall.com. And if you want the best gear, I'm telling you, the best spy gear, spy pens, little mini cameras. I mean, if you want to do some investigative journalism the right way, folks, go to espymall.com and tell them I sent you, Bruce Montalvo. Coupon code BruceNY. You save 10% at espymall.com. And you could also save 10% with that same coupon code with my friends over at LeCharmTUSA.com. That's LeCharmTUSA.com. But more important than that, yeah, they're my good friends, but more important, you got to take care of number one first. So be sure to go to our jewelry shop, and that is
Etsy.com. You could go to Antique Obsessions, but not right now. But in about a couple of days, probably you will see a great new selection of things. So you can go to Etsy.com/shop/Antique Obsessions or Etsy.com/shop/Conceptual Subculture,
right.
And you'll find handmade, one-of-a-kind jewelry, way nicer than any of these fakers you're going to see
Yeah,
advertised to you. And a lot of them are just biting our freaking styles and just doing, and they're putting it on.
Like that Jones Katlini or Katami or whatever the hell, or that King freaking Baby. I mean, we're way better than all those jewelers.
And they're saying the same thing, one of a kind, and they're using vintage.
Anyway, who was that at the door?
Nobody. But I wanted to finish my
knocking
thought.
on my fucking door while I'm on air.
It's all right. But anyway, I wanted to finish my thought.
I get no respect.
I wanted to finish my thought about the pilots. I mean, how the airplane could be autopiloted. And you don't need, in this day and age, you don't need to have a person flying the plane. I mean, literally, they could have just taken already dead bodies, even from, old Egyptian, from the chaos, from the,
right.
There was
no, but here's the thing. You make a brilliant point. Now let me expand upon it.
Mm-hmm.
In a Batman comic book, Batman literally flew his bat plane into towers, and this was before 9/11, and he did it with a remote control. Now, if you go back to Operation Northwoods, the Kennedy days, they brought Kennedy, Lyman Lemnitzer, the Joint Chiefs of Staff, brought Kennedy papers stating that they wanted to create false flag terror with Cuba and use remote control planes piloted by Cubans, supposedly anti-Castro Cubans, but they were agents. This same script's continuing today.
Yeah.
This Flight 804
yeah.
has all the earmarks of a Gladio operation, of an Operation Northwoods operation. This is a black op.
Yeah, nobody died. Nobody died, not even the pilot. There was no pilot. They don't talk about the pilot and how many, they really don't talk about these people and anything else. Why aren't I hearing stories about the people? They're not going into their names. They're not going into their personal stories. They're not showing the people's fight. Years ago when something happened something really happened on a plane, they would show everybody and everything and go into now it's just they just show a couple of crisis actors and then that's good enough. Okay, don't keep it too long. These people can't act. We just need to show face. And it's just, how do they get these crisis actors? Well, a lot of desperate people in the world. A lot of people need money, and there's a lot of people that know how to keep secrets, and they have, say, signed non-disclosures. Mm-hmm. They're desperate enough, and they also have threats. So if, they'll sign something, they're already on the inside, maybe they already know that they're trustworthy or that they're part of the military or industrial complex, and they can be assigned certain tasks, and that's just a task for them. So they're just faking the funk.
Well, what do you expect in a stupefied America where you have these Donald Trump supporters who are screaming from the top of their lungs that they want Obamacare repealed, and then you go back, again, just like Trump said he supported a ban on assault weapons, he also said, I support government-run healthcare. And his stupid supporters, it just goes right over their heads, in one ear, out the other, and they're still shouting, I support Trump. I mean, this is a really stupid society we live in today that believes anything, that doesn't question authority. I mean, they're being drugged and freaking just dosed with all sorts of just lab experiment food. I mean, we're really not great again.
Yeah, it's really terrible. Unless you're on the inside and really understand how to preserve yourself, it's virtually impossible.
Exactly. It is. It is, folks.
Unless you really pay attention and are tuned in. I mean, if you're oblivious and you're living in this little ignorant bliss, you're not gonna. Who knows? Unless you have this incredible genetic makeup, or you're living somewhere off the grid.
And I'm gonna expose Trump again.
Yeah.
Okay. In 2006, you know what he said? He said that he was hoping for the real estate market to tank. Why? Because he invested in the very same derivatives that fat bastard that claims to be a conspiracy theorist said he was against. And now that very same people that were against these type of people are jumping on Trump's freaking bandwagon. I mean, and here I have it. Trump in 2006, wow. I sort of hope real estate market tanks. 2 years before the housing market collapsed in 2008, millions of Americans lost their homes. Donald J. Trump said he was hoping for a crash.
He's a neocon, and he was looking to buy up everything, do a Rothschilds, what they did to England back in the day. They tanked the real estate market. They brought down everything to pennies, pences or whatever, shillings, and then they just went. And then the Rothschilds bought up everything. They owned everything, and then everybody had to pay rent to them.
Exactly, and in case you didn't know, this is part of the top 10 list. I skipped it for some reason. I didn't introduce it, but I'm introducing it now. That last story was part of my top 10 list. That's number 10. That's Trump hoping for a real estate collapse. At number 9, you have a Trump delegate busted for guns, explosives, and child porn. He's facing up to 50 years in prison if convicted.
That is crazy.
That's up on Gawker.
I think there's a lot of pedos. We were watching something on TV, and we saw they're trying to make a sport out of these pole dancers now, and it's just obscene. Is it Olympic sport?
Olympic pole dancing, and they have it in Tucson, I believe. They have these 10-year-olds competing. And, I mean, they're putting freaking makeup on these 10-year-olds. And, I mean, like you said, yes, it's pedomania now.
Okay, now, I don't mind a little ballerina makeup, all right? A little tiny ballerina. But these girls, first of all, these girls were wearing the
reddest lipstick. They had stripper haircuts and stripper names already.
Yeah.
Paige.
Yeah, and bleached blonde hair.
Yeah.
And they were wearing mascara. Okay, you don't put mascara on a 10, 12-year-old. It's disgusting. And eyeshadow and lipstick, and everything was noticeable. If it would be one thing if they were... And why are they wearing two-piece, like a tank and a sexy thing like a stripper? Right. Why not put on a whole bodysuit? I have no problem with girls doing that, those fancy pole moves there. It is acrobatic. It is absolutely acrobatic. But why they don't... And why do they have to be sexualized to the point where they're looking like little sluts? And it's sick. If they don't even look like... They look like they're being used for pedomania.
Right. Now, that's what it is. That's what it is. You have... Even the Trump camp is filled with that. And we go to number 8. It explains why it's filled with that. Epstein note... Bill Clinton flew on pedophile's plane maybe twice, as often as reported. So did the Trumpster. I mean, why don't they mention that?
And what was going on those planes? I mean, they're private jets. They have parties.
You know what was going on. You know exactly what's going on.
Come on, little girl, you want to take a trip?
Yeah, I took some of those cigars that I used with Monica Lewinsky, and then I played saxophone.
That whole Monica thing was like lightweight compared to 99% of everything else that we heard. I mean, that shit was like a joke. Because to me, it was consensual. And it looked like a cover story probably. Now looking back at Bill's allegations, it looks like the cover story, that the Monica Lewinsky was a cover story for all of his other activities. Because it didn't look so bad. If it was consensual, even though he was cheating, it didn't look so bad because he wasn't raping her. But the other stories we're hearing today is that he was a maniac and biting this and lips and this and screwing and...
Right.
Who knows? Maybe that's what he was doing, and that whole Monica thing was just a cover-up.
Right. I mean, he's attacked many women. I mean, and Hillary Clinton, I mean, they say she's good for women. I mean, she's covering up for Bill and his attacks on women, folks. We go to number 7.
She needs to leave him, and she might get some respect.
Number 7, Clinton viewed more negatively than Trump. Americans find Hillary Clinton more unlikable than Trump. Well, you know what? I find her repulsive.
I think men don't like women in general. They would not want to have a female president, is what I tried to tell you before. I mean, look at Dilma. They're impeached her. They're going to give her she's facing an impeachment trial. And it's because she's involved with Petrobras, and which is the oil company over there, and and it's just, but there's no formal charges against her. But the fact is, they got everybody in Brazil riled up, and they're running after her, and she's probably scared. They're probably doing it to protect her, at least to make it look good on paper. But I don't think the world is ready for female leaders. They don't want them. I mean, there's men that feel demasculinized. This is why they hate this. I'm looking at CNN.
Exactly.
That's the name of my fucking song.
Okay, but we're at number 6. Stop looking at CNN because you'll just get angry, okay? See, I mean, look at CNN. The voice is Darth Vader. That tells you everything right there. When you have the leader of the galactic freaking empire, or basically the Hitler of the galactic empire, and that's the voice. Welcome to CNN, Luke. I am your father. Come on, please. Now we go to.
They know we're exposing them. That's why.
We go to number 6. Conservatives criticize Michelle Obama, or otherwise known as Michael. For bare arms, but stay silent for Melania Trump's nude poses. Well, I'll tell you why. Because freaking Michelle Obama's fucking ugly. You seen that?
Oh, and yeah.
According to men, full-blooded men, okay, that's what they'd rather see Trump's wife naked than Michelle Obama's manly freaking Hulk Hogan looking appearance.
She's got incredible arms. I can't believe how
she's got arms bigger than me, and an Adam's apple, huge. And an Adam's apple as big as her balls.
Bruce has gigantic arms, and you could see even his.
I don't like giving other men kudos for being tougher than me, but Michael Obama, I mean, he takes it. She takes it. It takes.
I just don't understand. I mean, they want to make fun of whatever Michelle. I mean, Obama said Michael. He referred to his wife as Michael, which is very weird. But, I mean, her hips are very womanly, so I don't know how they can do that, you know, wow. Even if she did get a sex change. So, it doesn't matter. I don't even care. It doesn't even matter. Let them just be. They're just... All
right. Number five, Charlie Sheen, 40 million missing, and he says he's getting screwed. You know, he's getting screwed, all right. He's getting screwed by Alex Jones right in the freaking poop chute. He's screwing his gay lover, Jorge Jones. I'm giving you a Mexican name, Jones, because I know how much you hate my freaking people, you butt wipe. Anyway, we go to number 5. Edward Snowden. This guy thinks he's us now. Edward Snowden says Osama bin Laden is alive and well in the Bahamas. So he's saying that Osama bin Laden faked his death. He's taking a playbook right out of the Montalvo studios.
Maybe he's right.
And he's saying that bin Laden faked his death.
Maybe he's right. Maybe he faked it twice. What's his name? Tim Jones?
Tim Osman, I believe, was his CIA name.
He had 3 names. I think he was Tim Jones and Tim Osman.
Wow.
Yeah, he had a lot of names. So who knows?
Anyway, we have that Rolling Stone article here at number 5. Rest in peace, GOP. How Trump is killing the Republican Party, or I was going to call him the retarded party.
You are, aren't you?
It was on the
retarded
party. It was on the tip of my tongue. Donald J. Trump crushed 16 GOP opponents in one most appalling, vicious campaigns in history. Yeah, and they're portraying him as the Grim Reaper there. That's number 5. Again, number 4. The Trumps are just dominating my newsreel here, folks, my top 10 list. Number 4, Donald Trump, my fans are the best bullies in the U.S. What do you make of that?
Bully!
Oh, God. There you go giving freaking...
here, pussy, 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 here, pussy, pussy.
White Rapper Show Part 2 over here. You have, number 4, you have, a TSA disaster is just the TSA is going to be blamed for this. It's a disaster. I mean, when we went on that flight. I mean, they even checked my little mini pocketbook Torah because they thought I had some type of detonator device in there. You believe that? It's a disaster. The lines are getting worse, and you see that it's not helping security. It's not helping keep you safe. Okay, your erosion of your civil liberties, the Pavlovian conditioning of having them take off your shoes before you get on a flight, is not working.
Yeah, but they have a new procedure now. It's like pre-boarding. You can be part of their flight, and you don't have to do that. They showed it to you on the airplane. They showed you that you can get this pre-screening thing. You have to be part of it. That's if you're a very big flyer.
Right. Now at, I believe it's number 2, we have Prince, cops interested in possible fatal drug mix. Really? Really? So he's not hanging out in Bahrain with David Bowie sipping on Mai Tais over there?
Bruce, I saw so many advertisement for Prince music. I was in Walgreens for sunscreen, and there was Prince. The only thing there were like Prince CDs. So everywhere you go, they're selling Prince things. I wonder how much money the industry made off Prince's name.
He had made more money dying than he ever did, or supposedly dying, than he ever did when he was alive.
Yeah.
And the guy was strapped for cash, folks. I mean, that just Google that up. I didn't just pull that out of my ass. The guy was broke. I mean, did he live in Laurel Canyon? He lived in some shithole in Michigan or wherever the hell. I don't even know.
Probably it was like a $70,000 house.
Yeah, I could probably own Prince's house.
Yeah.
I mean,
probably.
Literally, I mean, it's just retarded.
It was really crappy.
It shows the stupefaction
some big old
of America.
fucking house. It wasn't like nice or anything. I mean, you could buy. I mean, property ownership in Minnesota or whatever, Michigan. It can't be like buying in New York or Cali or anything like that. It was probably maybe even $30,000. We looked at some houses in Maine and they were like $20,000. As soon as you get out of New York and Cali,
the decor in Maine is hideous. Hideous. Those people do not know how to decorate their homes. I mean, they're in dire need of interior decorators over in Maine.
Yeah, you're right. Yep. And a lot of it has to do with the rot near the water and the the houses itself. And
well, enough about interior decorating. Number one, Dope, a.k.a. Pope, compares ISIS to Jesus. You believe that? He compared ISIS to Jesus the other day.
Is he confused?
He's very confused. He's so confused he's going to become a desaparecido. Okay, it says here in an interview with La Croix, he's saying in
La Croix.
Was this some type of French newspaper?
I guess so.
Pope Francis, we need to speak of the roots in the plural because there are so many. In the sense that when I hear the talk of Christian roots of Europe, I sometimes dread the tone. You know whose tone I dread? Dope. Yours. You Jesuit bastard. What happened to those Argentinian Sephardic Jews? What did you do to them? Where are they? Why aren't you rotting in a dreg, you disgusting bastard?
You think that the desaparecidos were Jewish?
We exposed that.
Uh-huh.
Many of them were, if not all. Okay.
Or something undesirable, at least at that.
Look, that is who he is the head of, folks. He is the head of the same group that helped the Nazis freaking migrate over to America and get green cards and get jobs, become presidents. That is who the Vatican helped take over America. And now this guy is saying that ISIS is the same as Mithra, is the same as Attis, is the same as Dionysus, is the same as all those.
Right.
As Horus. I mean, it is just ridiculous.
Yeah. But the Pope, Argentina was always had a lot of rich Germans. They went there and they relocated. Mengele was seen over there. There's reports of him and they relocated there and they integrated and they built their society. I mean,
here's what he's calling ISIS. He's calling ISIS disciples of Jesus that he wants to send to all nations for conquest. The conquest of all nations. This is what it is. I mean, that's what the Jesuits represent. They're a military order. And they're at the top of the New World Order's pyramid. They rule supreme.
Yeah. ISIS is just a little faction of them. I mean, they're Blackwater or something. That's what it is. They're hired. It's just hired. I don't believe they're real. I believe that every single one of them is
Blackwater works for the Jesuits. I mean, what do you think? Priests are out there in Benghazi shooting people?
No. I mean, the ISIS itself they're like Blackwater. They're paid.
Yes.
They're paid. They're not just like, they didn't form out of like anger. I think that's what people get confused about, is that ISIS is not like some rebel group that just occurred, These people need to eat. People need to eat, okay? I don't care, they need to eat.
Well, they used to be the Mujahideen, and when they defeated the Russians. I mean, if the Russians couldn't beat them, then what makes us think we can beat them? I mean, we created them, but we can't beat them. It's an unwinnable war, and even Dick Cheney himself said that it's a fruitless war fighting these freaking jihadis. these Wahhabis.
I mean, they're getting paid. Okay, their government is paying them. Somebody's giving them a paycheck. Do we fight for nothing? Is there anybody in this country that's banding together for a cause that's not getting paid? I mean, like, that's fighting? They're getting paid. Look at our army. Look at our military. Look at our special forces, our Blackwater. Everybody gets paid. So how do you think all these ISIS members exist and live and get fed? I mean, obviously they would run out of money. They would run out of food. They'd run out of energy. So they have to be funded. Who is funding them? That's what they never discuss in the news.
Absolutely. And they're also not discussing this in the news. This should have been number one on my top 10 list. It's actually gone mega viral. If you go to my Exposed News channel on YouTube, you'll see my UFO explodes over ISIS territory exposed video. It's now gotten over 50,000 hits.
That's incredible. That went bigger than your Justin Bieber is an alien.
That went bigger than my
reptile.
Donald Trump goes full retard video. And that's the thing. I think they got an idea ISIS got an idea to get revenge on Egypt or whatever from this video. UFO explodes over ISIS territory. I mean, I literally said that they were fooling these freaking goat eyeball eaters with phantom technology in the desert, scaring them, and they're being defeated thoroughly by the Russians. So I was thinking, what did the Russians send some type of UFO to scare these guys? Did they Project Blue Beam some image of Muhammad banging out a goat, and before they freaking blew up this whatever it was over ISIS territory, UFO, MFO, that's what we called it the other day, a military flying object.
UMFO. No, identified. Unidentified, UMFO, unidentified military flying object.
Wow. That's funny. But if you go to exposednews.com, Exposed News, YouTube, and Exposed News, alternative.wordpress.com, then you'll find these top trending stories over there. And be sure to follow us at Twitter, at Bruce Montalvo, at Jaja, and you keep up with us, our late breaking news.
That's right. Yeah, they should definitely just, if you have a problem finding us, just put in quotes or go to Google and put in the Bruce Montalvo Show, just if you want to catch up on our past shows. But yeah, we break everything down to the best of our ability. We really don't have intel. We just have intelligence of our own brains. And we do the best we can using our eyes and our knowledge.
Well, the intel is on the internet. People can have their own intel if they just go out and do the research on the internet. That's why they want to get rid of the internet. And for all you stupid Donald Trump supporters that love your internet porn, guess what? Donald Trump's going to take that away because he wants to destroy the internet.
He does.
He doesn't want a free internet. There's no difference. Right. There's unequivocally no difference between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. And now moving on to this breaking story here. Facebook conservative circus, pretty much. You got Mark Zuckerberg over here bringing together all sorts of supposed conservatives to help mend this story that he was blocking conservative news feeds from his Facebook. And who does he have up there? This retarded moron, Glenn Beck's up there as a representative of conservatives. I mean, he's a crybaby, effeminate pussy.
Isn't he losing his radio station?
He's losing everything. He's losing everything because Cruz fell on his face, his ugly face. And now he's smearing Cheetos all over his face. I mean, Glenn Beck really needs to just go away. He needs to go away. Glenn Beck needs to go away more than Seth Rogen needs to go away. I am sick of seeing Glenn Beck and Seth Rogen proliferated in my television. I'm tired of those two idiots.
Yeah.
They should hang them from their fat toes.
They're fools.
They're fools.
I just think that we should up the ante of intelligence in America, and that's what's really the overall thought of mine, because it's not them in particular. It's just that either they're being told or they were chosen to perpetrate stupidity. And it's just enough already. I mean, they don't want to bring forth, I don't want to say they. Okay, so just talk about Glenn Beck for a second. I mean, the guy doesn't have too much of a brain of his own, and he was funny when he was dissing Alex Jones, but
That was about the only funny thing he ever did.
But every time I try to turn him on, he's just dreadful, and he does not insightful. He just talks down to people like they're stupid.
First of all, the guy didn't even graduate from high school. The guy doesn't even have a GED. The guy can't even read. The guy's an idiot.
Well, I'm sure he can read. You know, they wouldn't have given him the job to be able to have teleprompters if he couldn't read. So that I think at least he can do, but I don't think that he has a lot of thinking skills. And more important, he's not like a leader. He doesn't give anybody, any kind of power. He just sits there and makes you stupider. And I think that's the problem in America right now. We need to have people that are going to add to our intelligence quota.
So Beck is basically gallivanting with Mark Zuckerberg, begging him to bail him out because he spent all his money supporting that fuckwad Jesuit Ted Cruz. And now Beck is pretty much helping liberalism keep trending on Facebook. That's what's going on.
I don't think they knows what they're doing. I mean, who knows? It's just a show. It's a fucking show.
It's a fucking show, folks. And speaking of shows, Hitler's death was a show, wasn't it? I mean, he escaped via submarine. Supposedly, the recent FBI documents say. I have an article in front of me right here from themirror.co.uk. Bizarre photos of Adolf Hitler that he didn't want you to see are finally uncovered 90 years later. So some of Adolf Hitler's most candid moments as leader of the Nazi Party have been revealed in fascinating photographs taken during private rehearsals. What, did they catch him with his pants down? Hey, look at him.
Oh, what is he acting? He looks like he's trying to do some poetic...
He looks like Bela Lugosi.
Yeah, exactly. Or some Charlie Chaplin or something,
Look at him. He looks like he's in a Hollywood film.
He was practicing highly. Oh, I know what that is. It looks like they had him in some Laurel Canyon
Rustic Canyon training.
Some kind of a training thing telling him how to act. I don't know. He's old there. Wait a second. How old is he there? He's older than he was when he was in
No.
right?
He looks the same age.
Okay.
Pretty much. I mean, they didn't catch him with his pants down. To me, it just looks like he's under mind control.
Yeah, he looks
here.
very mind controlled.
He looks like he's completely high off his rocker on methamphetamine or whatever Vita Molten that stinky bastard, the odor Morel gave to him.
In fact, it looks like the photographer himself is making fun of him.
And speaking of the photographer is called Heinrich Hoffmann, and he snapped these photos of him rehearsing. Like you said, he was practicing his speeches.
He looks it.
He was practicing his speeches in private. That's what Trump's probably doing with his little OK Corral Illuminati asshole symbol that he's always flashing.
I wonder how they do it. I think that they
basically the 666. That's what it means. It doesn't just mean gay or butt. When they do that OK Corral sign, it means the 3 6s. I mean, you can see it. 3 6s.
Yes. But, I want to analyze this photograph for a second because as a professional photographer, I can see something that the most people can't see. And roll that up a little bit higher. So in that the photograph of him with his hands up, fist up in the air, and there's an extraordinary amount of light blasting on his face, which makes me believe, because he was practicing, they put a screen in front of him of an audience of millions of people so he can psych himself into talking to the people of his country, the huge crowds that they were able to obtain for him. And doesn't it look like a film screen projector? It's so bright that he's looking at a projection.
Yeah, there's some type of very bright light flashing in his face. Yeah. And it says here that Hitler was presumably embarrassed. Hitler ordered these pictures to be deleted, saying that
there were probably more of them.
They're beneath his dignity.
Okay, but there were probably more
deleted. What, did they have computers back then?
Right.
I mean, how about scrapped or destroyed?
Destroyed. I didn't use deleted.
Deleted.
Yeah, they didn't use deleted.
Well, this writer here for the
idiots.
.co.uk Mirror is a moron.
But I think that's a fine photograph. It doesn't matter. It doesn't really make a difference with those photos. I think there were more photographs taken in that series, and some of them had the fucking screen that's projected on his face. That's what I'm saying. There was probably a screen projected on his face with people, and so he can get used to handling the millions of people that he used to.
You know how fruity he looks in these pictures?
He looks very fruity.
He looks like a flaming freaking crazy LSD fruit.
Exactly, LSD. He looks
like he's high on magic mushrooms.
Yeah, or like MDMA or something like that. He looks totally out of his mind.
Wow.
Tweaking or some shit.
That is one of the stories that are trending right now, up on Drudge Report. This Hitler story here, and it's just getting crazy, folks. I mean, here's another story. Exorcist maker says Vatican let him film real rite. So the Vatican actually let the director of The Exorcist go around and film an actual exorcism. And we've been talking about this, that the Vatican's actually going around and saying that they need more exorcism classes in Spain. I mean, that's really the only talent they have, is how to exorcise demons.
They had a huge burning over there. The whole, I think Barcelona was completely covered in smoke or something. They were burning something in their atmosphere. It's so fucked up how they're treating the earth.
Right. Well, it says here, the Exorcist maker says Vatican let him film the real rite. William Friedkin, the director of the horror classic The Exorcist, revealed that he was allowed to film a real exorcism at the Vatican earlier this month. 80-year-old American filmmaker told a master class at the Cannes Film Festival late on Thursday that he was invited by the chief exorcist in Rome to record an event. Wow. So there you have it, folks. I mean, that explains why people are running away from the Catholics, because we finally realized today that they are nothing but demon-ridden, pedophilic filth. Occultist, pagan filth.
Well,
I mean, they're literally the scum of the earth. If you want to see real change, folks, why don't we start taking bulldozers and start demolishing these freaking chateaus of evil that are all over the place dedicated to these bastards? I don't care how old they are, how historic they are, how they're landmarks. If you really want the world to be a great place, to be a place of good, we need to expunge these Jesuits, this Vatican. We need them eradicated. We need them destroyed.
Eradicated.
Eradicated. They need to be gone, folks.
Vacate the Vatican.
How many more children are we going to allow for them to kidnap? How many more desaparecidos is that damn Pope going to have?
I like that the slogan. Vacate the Vatican. Vacate the Vatican. Doesn't that sound cool? It's kind of catchy, huh?
Yeah, it's got a nice little ring to it. It's got a nice little ring to it, folks. But I'm telling you, the news just keep getting more grim and more grim. They're telling you that they're blasting planes out of the sky. They're freaking poisoning you, poisoning the water, poisoning the food. I mean,
that probably was a messed up plane.
It's a horror story.
Listen, the plane itself was probably falling apart. It probably needed too many repairs.
No, that's not what they're saying on the news. They're saying that the plane, they didn't have a technical issue, that the plane got routine maintenance, that EgyptAir is known for very good maintenance on their planes. The plane flew a number of 24 hours before just vanishing, before disappearing. I mean, this has the earmarks. This flight 804, the Egypt-Cairo flight, has all the earmarks of the MH370. It just vanished, just disappears.
I got you, but what I'm trying to say is that for them to disappear a multi-million-dollar vehicle, such as a plane, it must have been faulty anyway. And I'm not saying they didn't take it down or autopilot it into the ocean, but I'm trying to say that it was probably not up. There were probably many other things going on with that plane itself that they figured it would be worth it to just get rid of it and not worth it to fix it. Or, I don't think they took one of their best new fleets, is what I'm trying to say.
Wow.
It's probably an old one.
And again, this article here states Egyptian passengers spun to their deaths from 37,000 feet. And again, that is the safest part of the trip. They were about to descend and land, and then out of nowhere, it just disappeared. What did they use? Some type of cloaking technology? I mean, it's going back to the semiconductor, Austin, Texas. I mean, that's the same people. Who was on board in that flight that they wanted to get rid of?
No, I don't think anybody was on board.
There were no Americans on that flight.
I feel like they just used some already pre-dead bodies, and they maybe Jane Doe's. They put them on the flight, the airplane. They put some fucking luggage that was lost on the plane, and they downed the plane.
Wow.
I think it was nobody got killed. I saw those crisis actors. There was nobody there that shed a tear. There was nobody there that was believable.
Well, they did hire 2 or 3 people that they probably cut an onion in front of them before they went on TV, but it was very, very bad.
Okay.
Everybody else after that, I mean, they had to force themselves to cry almost.
Have you ever been to a funeral? Okay. Arabic, Islamic, Jewish, Christian, it doesn't matter what religion you are. There is pain and emotion that going on
pain
in
and
their
suffering.
prayer.
You're mourning the loss of your loved one.
And they showed people in prayer, and all they did was show these people were not emotional.
They weren't in pain.
They were not in pain. They were acting. They were acting. They were just there.
Well, that's why some of them had friggin' aviator glasses on and Hollywood star T-shirts.
Yeah, most of them actually had these very new, fancy little fucking glasses that you couldn't see their eyes. Okay, so that's like an indicator right there, because you really want to connect to other humans and see how they're responding. And there was not the right response. They try to play you stupid, the news. They're like, oh, yeah, that's happening. So somebody that's half paying attention will just see it and go,
And here's the thing. This happened a day after Trump was challenging Kim Jong-un in North Korea, saying that he was going to sit down and be the guy to talk to Kim Jong-un. So I look at him as a suspect, whoever he is. If it's Kim Jong-un, Kim Jong-un, or whoever they replace, Kim Jong-clone, whoever's running North Korea, I look at that little island as a threat, because they probably could be very well a suspect in this.
No, I think it's an inside job on the part of EgyptAir and Egypt, so they can institute some kind of martial
That's
law.
good. You're speaking of inside job. There's a story right in front of me here. The 9/11 families are going to sue Saudi Arabia for their involvement in 9/11. That means that, again, all the truthers were wrong, because it wasn't an inside job. It was an outside job if Saudi Arabia did it, right? I mean, that story kind of helps deflect the blame away from the American intelligence agencies, the Pentagon. It's deflecting the blame. Oh, don't blame us. Yeah. Blame the Saudis.
Exactly.
Right? So, I mean, blame the Wahhabis. I mean, what do they want? Are they going to turn on Saudi Arabia and bomb the shit out of them? I mean, I'm sure as hell tired of having to, pay for their expensive oil when we can be dependent over here. Off our own oil. Self-sufficient. I mean, that's probably what the powers that be are thinking. They said, we've had enough of these eyeball-eating scum in Saudi Arabia, and it's time to turn on them and put the freaking knife right in their back, just like those Saudi Arabians, those pimps, are used to doing to everybody else.
I have a problem with Saudi Arabia, and most of it has to do with the fact that they don't even want to help other Arabic nations. So like the Palestinians. I feel like that everybody wants to scream at Israel, but the average Israeli is struggling just like every other American, just to pay their bills, okay? That's like a given. They're not really equipped, but the average Saudi is so freaking rich, they can buy like harems of people, and they are not even helping the Palestinians, but not...
Or as I like to call them, the Palace idiots.
Yeah, but... the world wants to scream about them, but nobody wants to help them. I mean, Israel built them schools, and they gave them money, and they built them aqueducts, and they helped their city, and then they themselves took it down. They themselves burnt the books that they themselves ruined the classroom furniture because it came from Israel. They just had nothing to do with it. And the fact is that I know Turkey kind of tried to do something, but why doesn't a country like Saudi Arabia really want to see them do well? Why don't they then replace their aqueducts and just give them a better quality of life? They wouldn't be so hateful. There's nothing wrong with that piece of land that they're in, even though it could be disgusting. I mean, look at Arizona. I mean, it's a beautiful state. It's inland. There's no water there, but it's still beautiful. If they do it right, it could still be beautiful. I mean, they're by the water too. They're by the it could be a wonderful land, but these people don't want to build up. They don't want to educate themselves. They don't want to do anything to uplift their society. They just want to fucking point a finger and be stupid.
Right. They want to just scream about land, when in reality, that Israel was called Samaria and Judea, not freaking Palace Idiot land. Okay?
Yeah, there's a million names. Everything has a million names. America was something different. Where my family's from, Greece was once Turkey, Ottoman Empire, and this and that. I mean, everything switches names on people. Who cares?
I mean, I talked about that idiot Glenn Beck not knowing how to read. I can guarantee that the literacy in Palace Idiot land is like just beyond.
Oh, it's really, really low. And then one of my friends who is French and is a Palestinian supporter, she just kept saying to me that, but I kept saying, well, my family's always moved, or many people moved. I mean, the Mexicans, everybody gets pushed around. What if the Mexicans started screaming around and started attacking, saying, we want America back?
They are attacking now. In Costa Mesa, they're part of Hillary's troll army now, and Donald Trump's army. I mean, he hired them on purpose to make Mexicans look bad. Mm-hmm. It doesn't take much to make us look bad. You just put a cholo out there. Hey, fuck Donald Trump, hey, fuck you, eh? That's like the only words they know how to say is and fuck you. It doesn't take that much to make them look bad.
Exactly.
And with that, folks, we're really coming down to the end of the show. And I don't see why at this point I shouldn't run for president.
Because I want to see you.
That's right.
Yeah, you would never see
And you don't want to be first lady.
No, I don't.
You'd be one hot first lady.
Yeah, I'd be first bitch. I'd be saying nigga and fuck and... No, I don't think so. I don't think
Speaking of that, I'm waiting for the moment where Donald Trump drops the N-bomb. I'm waiting. It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
He can't drop the F-bomb. He's not.
You mean the N-bomb?
I mean the N-bomb. I mean, he can't drop that because he could say the F-bomb, but even, do you hear him say fuck F?
I think he cursed on stage already a couple of times during one of his speeches.
Yeah.
He said something.
I'm sure because he's so free with his anger and words, it's got to have come out. I mean, he must have said some things. He can't be so in control. I mean, he's a very smart man. I like Donald as a person. I think he's an awesome guy.
He's just a comedian.
I think he's funny as fuck.
You shouldn't believe half of the shit that comes out of that guy's mouth. I mean, he's just as much as a liar as Hillary Clinton. That's why I have this article right here before we sign off, folks. Poll, 65% willing to support a third-party candidate who is not Trump or Clinton. That's why I'm announcing my run for the presidency, folks. Bruce Montalvo, 2016.
Don't vote for him.
On the Libertarian ticket. That's right. I'm gonna be more famous than those top 3 Libertarians.
Than my cousin Aaron Russo.
That's right.
Well, you're not running. Okay, because we don't have any money to run. So.
But I am running from this show now because we got to go.
Yeah, bye.
We got to go.
Later.
Thank you for listening, ladies and gentlemen. You've been listening to the Excellence in Radio Execution, America's gift to talk radio. You're listening to El Gran Montalvo on the Bruce Montalvo Show and
Montalvo's bitch, Jaja.
No. You're not a bitch. She's a beautiful, fun.
Yes.
She's my bitch. Later.